What's up, everybody? Welcome to The View by Dudes. We have some estrogen on the show today, sandwiched in between two bros, whatever, it doesn't matter. This is a fitness show. We call it The View by Dudes. That doesn't really make any sense, but we're going to keep it that because that's the name we've gone with. Happy Tuesday. Today we're going to talk about, we've gotten a lot of feedback. Oh, real quick, subscribe to the channel so you can get fitness updates from Brian and the staff and everyone here at Max Muscle each and every day. Download it into your consciousness so you can just live healthy, happy, and awesomely and dominate. So subscribe to the channel. We've had a lot of people come into the store and say that they've seen the show, like it.
They're interacting and they're getting some good information from it. And we've had some few people talk about what is clean eating was one question or comment, and the other one was talk a little bit more about fats. You guys felt it was a little bit overlapping from carb conversation to fat conversation. So today we're going to get into your guys' experience eating clean, training, and what we've done with that.
Yeah.
So kind of compiling all three segments.
And then we're going to go more into, in upcoming episodes, we're going to go more into working out, hit training, workouts, that kind of stuff. I think it's important, though, to start with, at least I do, Brian's the expert, with eating. As I was doing research for the show last night, fitness is 80% diet, right? 20% fitness. If you can figure out, which is Pareto's principle.
Yeah, your structure, your body can be manipulated predominantly off of nutrition. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's key. So again, that's why we're talking about clean eating. And so today we're going to talk about our experience of what we've been through. So
yeah. So you guys started this journey roughly the 10th of last month. So we're the 7th of last month. So we're right at about a month to 3 weeks of you guys kind of executing from food prep to changing conscious decisions in your caloric intake and training a little bit differently, right? So
I would say, just real quick for the camera, for those of you, a lot of you watching this are probably already experienced with this stuff. For those of you who are brand new, I would say, and we have a food prep video posted, but I'll overlay some clips here or whatever. I would say it's the most important part based on my limited experience now of the process, right? In the last 2 weeks, I've saved like $400.
Awesome, yeah.
On food, right? Because every time you go to Chipotle, it's $9
at least, yeah, $9 to $11, yeah.
And then your Starbucks for the day, and then so we've each invested $70 a week. Because for those of you who think that you have to invest a ton of money, I would challenge you and say you don't. Gina and I have each invested $70 a week at Costco and eaten like kings, right? The portions we need, the protein we need, the carbs we need, everything we need. All prepackaged for $70 a week.
Not prepackaged, you guys made it.
Well, made it.
But you guys then packaged it for the day, so.
I would say get over that fear though. We'll post it, and then we cook on Sundays, and we have a barbecue, which makes it pretty simple, right? But we make a ton of chicken breasts, chicken thighs, tilapia, which I'm a huge fan of.
You eat it all.
I love tilapia. It's because it's easy to cook. You don't even really need to season it a whole lot.
No.
And when you heat it up, it's got that buttery texture. It's great. But yeah, and if you're like me, you're sitting there going, I don't need another thing
to do.
To do. Sunday's the day I drink beer and watch football and zone out. I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to look better.
Yeah. How long did it take us? I mean, it doesn't take long to cook all that food.
No. We do it together too, and with another friend to make it kind of fun.
Yeah.
Just so it's not so tedious.
But honestly, you guys can take, if Sunday's the food prep day and it's football day and drink beer day, have your cheat meal. Have your cheat meal on Sunday. You know, your food prepping you can enjoy. You've executed for the last six and a half days. Sunday can be kind of your indulgence meal day around food prepping and kind of reset for the week. You know what I mean? So I'm really big on cheat meals. Not cheat days, but cheat meals, just from a sanity.
Not 12 hours.
Just from a sanity standpoint. Whatever you consume in a sitting before you have to get up and use the restroom or stretch the belt
what about
is what you can get.
So. The other day, we'd been working out really intensely, and I'd been eating clean. And once again, eating clean for me is chicken breasts, vegetables mostly, complex carbs, like the dark rices, dark pastas,
dark grains,
whole wheats, at the appropriate times. So eating really good, right? And then I noticed my body was just super tired.
Yeah.
And I had some fats or whatever. So that morning I was like, I'm gonna go out and crush pancakes. So I went and crushed pancakes, totally brought my body back to status, right? Because I would tell everyone here too that there's not a prescription, right? Like,
no,
you have to test your own body and feel it out and keep a journal and keep a mental note of like how you feel.
Yeah,
it's not a prescription for everyone.
what works for me or you or doesn't work for everybody. I mean, it's kind of trial and error. We're talking about that today. We, from a results standpoint, Chris in 3 weeks, let's say 3 weeks, right? It lost about 4 pounds of fat mass and gained approximately 1.1 pounds of lean muscle mass and about 2.2 pounds of skeletal muscle mass. Went down from 18.3 to 16.7% body fat. So what I find really kind of intriguing is we've talked about BMR, basal metabolic rate, which is that number here at the bottom that discusses minimum caloric intake per day, right? So you were at 2,350 calories, and now you're up to 2,410. The reason why that number went up is because you have more muscle mass to support. Right. So all of these things are starting.
And I gotta say too that when coming in here today, I jumped on the scale, which I would encourage you not to do. That it sits between your toilet and the tub, and it's just a terrible machine because it's not a good indicator if you're working.
Your home
hard.
Scale.
Right.
Yeah.
Coming in here, I was like, I gained weight. It's got to be the cottage cheese. I don't like this. I'm getting fat. And Gina was like, no, you're not. And then, yeah, we come in today, and just because I'm following the steps, success.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's taking into consideration lifestyle. You're not training the same time every day, right?
Right.
You're understanding how to manipulate your foods, and you have a little bit more flexibility, not more time, but flexibility to eat when you want and take and go and stuff like that.
Right.
Getting into Gina's been.
Hasn't done it.
Gina's gone a little.
Why don't you interview her, like, basically what's happening? No, keep going.
Okay. Gina's not gone backwards, but it hasn't manipulated nearly as much or as what we would want. And this is predominantly because what we were talking about off camera before was because timing's off. So originally we built the plan to train at 5:30ish a.m. Going into training, we had branched chains and fat, protein afterwards, carbs, and manipulating that. But that's changed.
Right.
And this has changed how?
Well, I think not working out at 5:30, but then not manipulating how I'm eating. So keeping everything the same, which obviously wasn't working, but then not taking in enough food. Like we were talking about, when I have work, I don't get a break.
Right.
So I go for like 6-7 hours of barely being able to put something in the mouth.
Yeah, even before it, and then there's 7 hours after it.
Yeah, of nothing.
We don't have anything for 7 hours, and even going into work and after work with class and school schedule like you have, we're not getting in enough even leading into that 7 hour period. So not that everything needs to run off, we kind of mentioned this before, not that everything needs to run off these 3 hour blocks of time. There's a lot of science that's saying, you don't need to eat every 3 hours. It's really getting in bigger meals and putting in branch chains like we've talked about and things like that to help you get through. Yeah, this is common. This is common from a lifestyle perspective. I have a meal plan, I have what I need to do, but work calls or class calls or kids or whatever. So understanding now where we put those things. So now if we're not going to be training at 5 a.m., then we want to focus on proteins and fats leading into training, even if that's now at 5 p.m., kind of like what Chris is doing. And then we're getting in, carbohydrates post-workout after that. So Gina and I are going to work on it.
So describe that one more time. So basically, like, if you're going to work out at 5 a.m., then you're going to have your fats and proteins before the workout, right? And then after the workout, your simple sugars. You could have a donut or a Pop-Tart. If you're being fun about it, right? Like you could crush that because your body can handle the
insulin spike.
Okay, so it can handle the insulin. After that, you're gonna have some complex carbs later, and then finish out with lean carbs with veggies, lean meats, etc. to end the day.
Correct.
Right. So talk to that again. So like, if the average person is like crap, I can't get to the gym at 5.
Yep.
And it's now 7.
Yep.
Because that's the only time you can make it. Talk about how they shift.
Yeah, shifting is going to be, to Gina's lifestyle changes, our lifestyle changes is going to be really important. So we missed the workout at 5 a.m. Got it. Now we're going to go start our day. We have class, we have work. Okay. So understanding that we're going to put vegetables, proteins, and fats up until I can work out, whenever that is. Okay? So if that's now 7 p.m., our next 3 or 4 meals are going to be focused around those 3 food groups. Carbohydrates coming from green vegetables, they're very fibrous, they're very dense. The tilapia, the chickens, the steaks, whatever. From a whole food standpoint, if you're at work, then we're using Max Pro specifically, or protein shake and some fats there. You know, much easier in a 7-hour block of time to run in the back room or at work and have 30 grams of protein and 14 grams of fat in 7 ounces of fluid, right, as opposed to having to microwave and eat. So that's where we're going to have to work with Gina or whatever client and understand that and time that out.
Did Gina already say why you missed some meals? Did you tell the camera? Oh,
yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. It's having 7 hours of not being able to go to the bathroom, like just being stuck working and then not. There's just no.
Is that legal? I don't even think that's legal.
No, it's not.
I'm just saying.
Concentration camps.
Yeah. It's not legal at all.
Anyway, but not
drink water.
Police.
But not uncommon for people. So then we need to focus on. Now we're training in the evening. We're going to go kill our workout because we still have proteins and fats. Sip on those branched chains like we talked about, and then we can have those carbohydrates post training.
And those ones that you talk about is like the bread or the rice, right?
Yeah, so we're having carbohydrates. We can make it a little bit more simple post-workout because we want that insulin spike. Mm-hmm. We want that hormonal response from that. So they can even be a little bit more simple, but still deriving the majority of them from the complex source.
Before it was like oatmeal or 2 pieces of bread,
right?
Something like that. So then just take those and transfer it to.
Yeah. Understanding the macronutrients. So if we're attempting to get hypothetically 40 grams of carbohydrates post-workout, and that in the morning was coming from oats, we can still have oats for dinner.
Right.
Some people don't want to, so maybe we're doing that from brown rice or sweet potato or what have you. And everything has a nutrition label, right? So I know this is going to sound very simple for some people, but utilize nutrition labels. Everything that we eat has a nutrition label on it. It's that white box with black writing, and it says a serving size equals this, and this is how many grams of carbs, protein, and fat are in that. And if the goal is in a 1/4 cup of oats, there's 25 grams of carbohydrates, then we can equate 25 grams of carbohydrates to potentially a 1/3 cup brown rice. You follow me?
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be the same source. It needs to be in the same category.
Okay.
And the equivalent of. Okay? So a 1/4 cup of oats is not necessarily equivalent to a 1/4 cup of sweet potato when it comes from a carbohydrate standpoint.
Makes sense.
Right? Obviously. But that's something to take into consideration when you're moving these things around. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to switch?
Another thing was you don't like to eat late at night.
Right.
I think, well, you talk. Why not?
I'm just not as hungry. I don't want food as much as I do at like noon or 2 or 5. It's just come 9 o'clock, I don't want food.
You're not hungry.
I'm not hungry, yeah.
But if you're...
And then I get super thirsty after I'm eating, and then I'm drinking, and then I'm up all night because
right.
I've had too much food, and then I'm drank too much water, and then I'm up. So it just, to me, it screws everything up.
For your body.
Right.
Which is not uncommon. So it is a little bit different. It is training your body to want food post-training. It is training your body to say, because after I work out, I'm not overly hungry. I just worked out for an hour.
It takes me about 30 minutes to feel
hungry.
And that's the thing, is working out so late, getting done with the workout, say like 9:30. Mm-hmm. By the time I get home, put something in the microwave, now it's 10 o'clock.
Yep.
I don't want to eat chicken, and I just don't.
Right. But what sounds good to you? Does anything sound good to you at that time?
Ice cream.
Yogurt, candy. No.
Donuts.
it would be easier to just drink something, I think, and get that in instead of putting food,
food in your mouth,
actually
which is fine. And that's something that working with us is we will manipulate. You know, I'll send this to you, but it's going to turn into, you know, we can get carb sources from other things that we can drink. We can get or protein sources from other things that we can drink. So we'll make it easier. And if we know we have a evening workout or a schedule mandates that, then we'll pick this day.
Yeah.
And if we're training in the morning, then we'll pick this day.
But like he can eat a steak and rice after he works out at 10 o'clock at night, no problem.
Yeah, but my body's also very like, I feel like when I was trying to explain this to you in the gym today, that my body is so big and so burns so much energy that when I'm done working out, I'm like ravenous.
Yeah.
It takes about.
He's like a Snickers.
It takes about 15 minutes for the adrenaline and the testosterone boost to kind of go away from it, to feel that hunger. But as soon as it fades and I calm down a little bit, I'm ravenous.
Sure.
I can crush.
Seriously, it's like a Snickers commercial. It's very angry.
Who do you turn into?
Aretha Franklin, Winston Churchill.
So we
Michelle Obama.
So we want to be able to train your body to want that. I mean, I challenge.
Wait, real quick, sorry. You're trying to tell her that even it should be almost like my body is.
Yep.
Challenging me to eat what I need to after.
I'm challenging you to eat what you need to, and I think it's more in people's minds to say I shouldn't eat late at night. And I think if we can get over that fact.
And that's that other old tale.
I inherently believe that your body is hungry. I think your mind is telling you that it's 9:30. I shouldn't consume anything.
Yeah, there's no question. A ton of it's psychological.
I mean,
that's what I was just saying. I mean, yeah. But then, I mean, there's so many two things that you've heard for how many years?
Yeah, never eat before you go to bed.
Don't eat past it. Don't eat, you know.
Yeah, and we need to look at our bodies as an oven, as a motor, however you want to describe it, but. Fuel in is optimizing performance out, and
like
so.
The original plan that you gave me too. There was that shake. That was the last thing that I had.
Yeah.
And that's easy.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, that's easy to just drink it.
You're drinking 5 to 7 ounces of fluid.
Right.
And that's
then
easy.
yeah, but to flip that, I don't know.
Yep.
Like you said, it's more
it's
psychological
mental.
than anything.
It's
not,
mental.
Yeah.
And so just something that we'll have to
Same
get
thing,
over.
just eating instead of drinking it. So I'll just put it in a blender.
So we got a wrap. Is there anything you want to announce? Like, hey, tune into more shows. There's stuff coming up.
We've got a few things coming up. We'll continue with Chris and Gina's success stories.
Oh, mention that. We're gonna put together like a DVD. From start to finish.
Yeah, we'll be putting together an informational kind of step-by-step food prep, education, training, nutrition, supplementation, testimonial, if you will, that we'll be releasing. Also, we have some big sales coming up, obviously, for the end of the month. Be tuning into all facets of social media that we have to get those deals and to be aware of where they're going to be.
Let people know too if they're seeing this on the web, they're not opted into your email. If they want to give us their email, they can get updates.
Sure. So if you guys are just tuning in on Facebook right now, watching this or what have you, and you're actually not on our YouTube channel, go to it and subscribe. If you want updates from our emails that have all of these links and videos and more, go ahead and email me or us at maxmusclesouthmetro.com, right?
Yeah. It's info at maxmuscle
info at maxmusclesouthmetro.com, and we'll add you to the list and get you involved. So if you guys have comments for future shows, please let us know.
Things that, really want to see,
things that you want to see, talk about, the specifics. We don't want to make it too specific, but are willing to if you guys want. So
cool. Word. Do your sign off. What is it? Don't let the protein bar sit in the car too long. It's not bad.
Don't
leave your shaker in the car.
Don't leave your shaker in the car, and don't have Snickers cravings.